Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. This session is organized as part of the European Education Month, an initiative from the Educational Leadership Network Europe, which is a committed community of education stakeholders working to enhance collaborative school leadership across Europe. Over to you, Edith, to explain more about what we're going to be talking today.
I also welcome everyone. I'm Edith Püski from Hungary, and I quickly want to introduce you my panelist partners. We are going to talk about and explain you what kind of projects we made together, Hungary and Finland in a cooperation. We have here Erika Rózsa from Hungary, from the Hungarian Jankai Bilingual School. We also have Sari Hapasalo from Tikka School from Finland, Jyväskylä. And as my project manager partner, Orsi Tuba from Glokal Minta, from Friminta, she is like half Hungarian, half Finnish. I would like, and you will hear them later on, of course, but let me share my screen so that we can go on to see what we were doing in 18 months. So our project was about sustainability education, and in this project, in the ANA project, we are going to highlight more about why we involved external stakeholders as well into the project. Why was it useful to have them in teaching sustainability? About the project, some basic informations. It was a strategic partnership project. So in one case, we were learning how to collaborate and work together on an international level. And as you heard, we had two schools participating, one Hungarian school and one Finnish school. And we were also having two NGOs participating in the project. We were doing mostly the management and all the preparations for the teachers. So they had the most their efforts putting on the professional work. The main goal of the project was to collect good practices in phenomenon-based learning. I think it's worldwide known that Finland is like leading in education development, and this phenomenon-based project approach is quite Finnish innovation. Therefore, we decided that we want to learn and see how they do it and then implement it in the Hungarian circumstances. So, and beside that, it was about phenomenon. Of course, we chose sustainability because we believe that this is the most important thing that we have to learn to solve and to teach for the next generation as well. We were, during the program, we were, of course, observing the children-centered models and all disciplinary teaching approaches from our Finnish partners. In the project, we were first we started with teachers training so that we had the skills and the knowledge at the same level. And we had some soft talks about sustainability and Agenda 2030. And of course, phenomenon-based learning methodology was also introduced. We had lectures and learnings on two levels. First, the beginners, because in Hungary it's not known. And of course that the Finnish teachers should also receive some new skills and knowledges in this. We had intermediate and advanced level for them. And now I pass on to Orsi.
Thank you very much, and I'm happy to share more about this wonderful experience we went on together. And why I think it was very special, this whole project, is because we were able to spend a complete week in each of the partner schools in Hungary and in Finland. And through that, not only did we collaborate more intensely, but we really learned about how the education systems work. And we were implementing these sustainability project weeks in collaboration with like the actual school community, but also as an international collaboration as well. And I think that spending in one school in 1 week, like a complete week, it really made us feel like we belonged there, and we were able to collect deep observations and learnings. And we were able to also interview the school community, the teachers, the students, and everyone involved, and to really learn what it means to them, sustainability, and what it also means to them to to really focus on these project weeks and phenomenon-based learning weeks, like why are they useful and why are they efficient in their learning outcomes. And taking the opportunity to organize roundtable discussions with the whole teacher communities was, I would say, an excellent practice, because it not only allowed us to, share our personal experiences, but also to really have the space and time for some pedagogical and sort of like professional reflections and bounce some ideas and to really have some space and time to reflect and to digest all these experiences and to really convert it into knowledge and how to move forward. So later on we are going to talk about the future impact, but I think these momentum these times were like excellent momentum to really build upon the future as well. And one of the other outcomes that are of everyone's benefit as of today as well, because we collaboratively wrote a good practices handbook that includes all the results of observations and evaluations. And it really like summarizes it very well, what we have learned, what we have discussed in these roundtable discussions, what we have interviewed from the school participants, teachers, students, everyone. And so there are like materials from learning diaries from teachers who were taking notes eagerly when visiting the other country school. So it was really a fruitful and collaborative working process. And please do scan that QR code there, and it includes all the links to many, like most of our outcomes, including the Good Practices Handbook. And as I said, I would like to talk about the future impact of the project as well, along with Edit, because we really believe that this project has unlocked many potentials and many opportunities for us that are in our lives as of today. So one of them is the FIN-Minta Forum that was inspired by these teachers' roundtable discussions. And it really is about discussing good practices and examples of Finnish education to inspire change. But I would like to mention here that we also discussed good practices that are not only true for the Finnish education, but in general, like global good practices. So the idea is not to preach about how the Finnish education is perfect. The idea is to really just bring an expert from Finland or a teacher or somebody who has like a good practice, anyone, and then to show it to the online community. And then we would discuss that, okay, this is great, but how we can use this, and do we have anything similar? And in general, then to go into deep reflections about, okay, but what should education look like, and why should we teach something, and what should we learn to reach that goal? And of course, sustainability has been and always been kind of a horizontal value in it, because we believe that it's also has to be socially sustainable, culturally, and like inclusion is a big value in all these discussions. And then to really raise awareness on the sort of the well-being of teachers and students and school communities. So this has been a very fruitful forum event. Every month we have an online forum, and Edith is my partner in crime in this event as well. And we also collaborate with one of the biggest teachers' rights movement in Hungary called Tanítanék Mozgalom. So this was also, I would say, encouraged and inspired by this sustainability project we are talking about today.
And furthermore, the project had also impacted future collaboration among organizations. Based on this Finnish-Hungarian cooperation, a new sustainability project was implemented in Romania. We also worked there with the school, and it's more about how to teach and train the adults, mostly the parents of the students of the school, that they can also take on sustainable activities at home, like showing the best example for the kids. What they are learning at the school can be seen at home as well. Another project, still based on the Finnish experience, that we were asked from special needs teachers that would it be possible as well to see for them how special needs education is going on in Finland. And now we are just before organizing all these visiting and school visits and trainings for the Hungarian and still Romanian teachers, how they do it in Finland. Another impact was that the involving external stakeholders also went a bit higher level. We started to collaborate with universities, with Hungarian universities first of all. One of them is the University of Óbuda. With them we will work together on to see how to calculate the eco footprint of households. And this will definitely be also involved in this the first mentioned sustainability project, like to let the households, the parents see that we can also have impact as individuals on sustainability activities. And Orsi?
Yes, and I'm happy to introduce that we have at FIN-HUN started this inclusive future policy experimentation project with actually 10 partners from 8 countries across Europe and Turkey. And it's about pretty much about sustainability competence development. And we are doing an inclusive pedagogical model to facilitate the integration of this sustainability competence model based on the Green Comp European framework, and to revise the national curricula of these partner countries, and to really find means to educate the leaders, like not only the teachers, but education leaders in this topic. So I'm very passionate and happy about this project.
And the project had impact not only on organizations, but also on individuals, of course, on those who were participating in the projects. 2 teachers from the Jankai School decided to go and make the master level pedagogy training, which is in their improvement already in the practical section of being a teacher. Another good result is that we are going to develop a study book, a Hungarian English bilingual study group for 3rd and 4th graders in environmental education, because there is a lack in Hungary of this. And also, I think it's important to mention that both of the project managers, Oshi is already doing her PhD studies, and while choosing what the topic should be, she has chosen action competence in education for planetary well-being. This Finnish-Hungarian project had an importance why she has chosen the active role examinations. And I also decided, based on our Finnish cooperations, that let's go and do some PhD research on formal and non-formal adult training towards sustainability goals, how we adults can be part of this huge task. And just a moment, I keep going on. And now you will see the questions, what our teachers will answer for you. And I skip the microphone to Sari and Erika.
Okay, thank you. The question was how to support sustainability teaching through active children-centered learning. And we can go straight to this following slide, because it's very natural to support sustainability because it's included in every kid's everyday life. And it's also it's included in everybody's everyday life. So the examples are very close range. It's very easy to take examples thank you, when you start talking about this with the kids and you think about their ordinary day, what do they eat? What do they wear? What materials do they have at school? What materials do they have at home? It's very, very easy start for everybody. And we had this, now we have this flea market slide. So this is really good. Like, how much clothes do you need? And how much clothes do your parents buy to you? And then we kind of lead the conversation towards the fact that you don't need so many new clothes. You can buy clothes though they are used. And third and fourth graders made this flea market thing. And actually here we have this example when the fourth graders rented their own table from a flea market downtown in Jyväskylä, our city. And there on their table, they brought their old clothes and people were buying them. And then they donated that money that they received, which was really, really good. Of course, first we had basics, which you can see here, like what there are countries which suffer from all this consumption. And so what can we do? We can sell clothes, we can use old clothes, we can reuse clothes, we can repair clothes. And flea market is a good example. And here it was easy to get the table where you could sell your own clothes and you got money. But if it's not possible to do that, we also planned 2 smaller circles. Like the smallest circle would be to have the flea market in your class. Everybody would bring their old clothes and then you could sell them and change them with each other. And then the following circle would be have the flea market at your school. It's just a bit bigger then. But then actually easiest here was this one, to go downtown and have the flea market there. And the fifth class, the fifth grade, this was really easy to start too, because we were talking about jeans. And every kid wears jeans, like at least they have jeans, maybe more than one pair. And where do they get their jeans? Where were they made? Do they know how much water it is needed to prepare a pair of jeans? And how expensive are some jeans? And like, what is the way of the pair of jeans when they arrive to you and they are brand new? And is it ecological that they come from India or something? Anyway, so that there is a lot of very intelligent conversations that came out of this start. And then what to do? We can reuse jeans, we can repair them, which is actually surprisingly new for some kids. It wasn't new when I was a kid. Of course, we always mother repaired our jeans, but nowadays you have to learn to do it, patch your jeans. Okay, so that was one thing we did. And then if they are already quite old and very many times patched, you can reuse them as bags and pencil cases. So very, very practical things. So the kids really feel that they can do something. And when very many kids do the same thing, it will be a million of kids doing this, which is really sustainable and reasonable thing to do. So these examples from the school. Erika, do you want to continue?
Yes, if you wish. Hello, I am Erika from the Jankai School. It is a bilingual school here in Hungary. We were lucky to join this project and watch the week in Finland, a phenomenon-based week, which the topic was the sustainability. It was really interesting for us because we have smaller project here in Hungary, but not a whole week, where we could see all the teachers and students and other people working together on a whole week project. So I was lucky to be involved in it. We just adapt this whole week to the Hungarian school and looked at what was going on and tried to adopt the whole week and do the same here in Hungary. It was a good learning process for us, I think. We enjoyed it really much. I just look at the slides. We made a lot of projects here too. So we went to the local waste center here in Hungary, and we just were lucky enough to go in Finland and watch that project in Finland too. So it was really good to see that this project can be organized here in Hungary too, and we can manage and bring life to the school more during these projects. We like these hands-on projects really much because it was really easy to understand for students how important sustainability in our life and these projects help them to understand the world and understand their responsibility. I think we saw many interesting projects. I was in the second class and first class, and I watched the fourth class in Finland, and we did the paper project here in Hungary. We just look at the paper, how can we reuse the paper, because in the second class we thought this topic is really good for their young age, and they can just easily get on with. So we made paper toys, and we just reused papers, making musical instruments, for example, and we just made pencil cases as they did in the Finnish school. And it was really good to see that it can be really efficient here in Hungary. And at the beginning, we only were involved, 5 teachers were really involved in the project. There were some friends and some other teachers who just started to be involved, but at the end of the week, more and more teachers were interested in our project, and we could see that they wanted to look in it and wanted to join and get a positive thing from our project. I think it's really nice to have this FIN-HUN-based learning week in Finland and in Hungary too.
Yeah, it was a great cooperation, and I think it was really easy to work with Hungarian teachers, though the schools were a bit in practice they were a bit different, but the teachers' hearts is always alike. You know, like everybody, like the way we think and the way we worked was very similar to each other, so it was really easy. And why to involve stakeholders into school projects? Well, at least in this project, considering sustainability, it is very important and very natural too, because everybody, each and everyone should take the responsibility, because it's quite late now thinking about the world's situation. So everybody should take the responsibility. And some lighter ideas here is that kids learn to create contacts, and they learn that we can take a contact to, for example, waste sort center, and then we can visit it. And then learning cooperation in general, like talking and discussing, having conversation, like how the cooperation works, that you give me this part and I give you this part, and then it's going to be a good puzzle together. And of course, it was very easy to in this project, because like the flea market, we are their customers. Of course, they want people to come and rent a table for a week or for 2 weeks. That's what they want to do. So no difficulties in that. And waste sort center also, of course, we in Jyväskylä we only have this one big waste sort center, so they wouldn't need to be nice for us, but they still were, because everybody are their customers here, because that's how it works, the recycling in this town, that everybody are their customers. So they were friendly too, and it was easy to work with them. First and second class, yeah, Erica, do you want to tell about that? Because you have this very same visit in Hungary?
Yes, if you want, of course, we can talk about it. Yes, it is really good to take the responsibility for all of us, and that's why we should invite stakeholders in the project. Here in Hungary, the situation is not so easy because here it is a big bureaucracy, I think, and it's sometimes difficult to get in companies, and it wasn't so easy to organize programs. But we could see that with motivation and with some connects, we could manage it, and we could go to the local garbage company and visit it. And also we went to a local visitor center, and we could watch how made paper is made. So with a lot of motivation, and if you really want, you can make very good examples in your school life, I think. And with these stakeholders, especially parents, it can have a long-term impact on everyone, because in this way the students can understand its importance more, I think. Also, it is good because there are local problems, and with these stakeholders, you can focus on local problems more, and you can watch your community, how it works, and what can you, how can you make it better, your life. How can you make your life better in your community in this way? And for example, at school, the food waste, they focus on food waste in Finland. It was a really good example that the students are involved in this project, and they can just focus on it, and they just made a competition, if I can remember from this, that class was the first who had less waste at the end of the week. So they could feel their responsibility for it in this way, because even the student has responsibility, of course. And with stakeholders, the adults can show them a good example also, and we can focus on the behavior that they should follow, I think, and we could make good examples from life in this case. That was my idea about this question.
If you want, you can follow, because this wasn't, yeah.
Yes. We had a lot of new thing in our life with this project. I think we could see and watch a really good model how a school should work. And sometimes it's really difficult because we have a very strict curriculum here in Hungary, and we have to follow it, and it's sometimes really difficult to manage these projects. And but we have the freedom. We had to have the freedom to have these phenomenon-based learning weeks and sustainability involved at school, because these problems are the problem is really big. And also these phenomenon-based learning weeks help to get more experiences, and I think more learning for the students, because it's a typical different way of learning as we used to here in Hungary. It was good to see how they teach in Finland. We have positive pedagogy here, but we just give red points and those assessments here. But in Finland, everything was around students, the well-being, the students, and even the teacher were involved in this project, and they how they feel it was really important. The well-being was the main in the focus all the time. So it was really nice to see how teacher can work together and how student can work with their teacher, and they respect each other very much, and even teacher respect their student. And it's really good because I was raised in a very strict country, and our ideas about school was a bit different when I was young, and it is a really strong collaboration culture, I have to tell you, and we have to work on it here in Hungary, that our teaching would be the same, and our students would be more involved in the planning process, for example, and the whole teaching process, because it worth the price, I think. We can see many interesting teaching methods there, and it was nice to see that everybody counted there, so we could see a project which was going on, and one student had to go and left the class, and they stopped the project because everybody counts in that country, and it was really good to see that how they focus on each other. And as a community, we should see that we have to be a bit, we won't hear too much here in Hungary. We are really rush through the topics, and in Finland they take time, which was really good to see that they take time and don't rush in, and they let the freedom for students. The students have more freedom, and that was really nice to see that they have time to adopt the problem. For example, if we talk about sustainability, they had time to get involved. They were asked about this problem, how they think, and what are they what in their brain about this, and we know what was the beginning of the project and how much they developed during the project week, and it was really good, I think. And for me, what was good to see that in Finland you really take your time, as I have to tell you. So it was when we came home, we just sit down and I want to be so relaxed on the stage because we always rush, because we think that the curriculum is really important, and sometimes forget about students, and that's not good, because we work for students and we work for them, that they have the best adults in life, I think. And also that we could see that what can they do? I mean, the students, we have to let them to do, because here in Hungary, if we think about art lessons, we give them examples, we give them a lot of help. But if they can do it, then just let your students do what they can do. It was interesting to see how the feedback and evaluation is different in Finland than here in Hungary. The Hungarian educational system is I think, the focus is on the teacher. The teacher gives the evaluation, the feedback, and we are the bosses. In Finland, the students were involved. For example, they can, in one class, I think in the fifth grade or the sixth grade, they can they can choose the level they wanted to achieve during the project week. So they can say that I don't want to be involved so much, or I want to do my best for this project, and it was good to see. And there were peer evaluation, and the kids can evaluate each other also, and there were self-assessment for students, and at the end the teacher also made the assessments and the evaluation, and it was really good to see that in, those things are went together, and that's give the student mark or the evaluation at the end. So not only the teacher give the evaluation and feedback, but the others were involved in. And sometimes the focus on evaluation is was the process, or how much they developed during the project week, not the outcome, but how much they get from that week. That was more emphasized at there, I think. So, but as at the end we could see that if you are open-minded enough and your motivation is good, and you are really motivated, everything can be adapted. It's up to you. If you really want, you can just take the Finnish model into your country and into your school. It's really up to you. So
yeah,
that is our advice to each other, everyone on the globe.
Thank you. And now we got to the point that if you have any questions, I don't know whether they were collected in the chat. I need some help to see where they are.
Before the
Maybe Hapsu also have some experiences because I think she.
Our experiences. Well, no, Erica just told about it. Everything. I thought about the evaluation because it can be a problematic thing because we have changed it a lot during last 10 years. We have changed the evaluation system there and then back again and again because it is not an easy thing. But like this is it has pros and well, minus and pluses that you have this self-evaluation because then you can estimate, as Erica just told, that if I want to reach number 10, which is the best, then I just try to do everything to this project. But if you know that you're not so capable of writing long essays, or you're not capable of doing some mathematical stuff that you need in this project, you don't have to reach 10 because it's very stressful if you try and try and try, but you are not the person with all the abilities. And 7 is fine. 7 is fine. I'm talking about projects in general now, not this specific project. And it is good that you can do that you understand that you don't have to reach 10. 6 is great. 7 is great. And maybe in some other subjects, you will be the 10 if you want to. But then again, if you need to evaluate everything and yourself all the time, it is not, it's not natural either. But of course, it depends on the subject too, because I'm a music teacher. I try not to make them evaluate themselves very much at all, because it's a skill. Playing is a skill, and you need to do it times and times and 100 times, and then maybe you learn a bit of it. But if you start evaluating yourself from the very beginning, you won't learn anything. So it takes so much time to learn a skill. Well, But that's just like me thinking something, I don't know, in general. I don't know if that's for help for anybody. But about the questions, do you want to do you want to ask anything?
I will need some help. Someone
I
should.
see a
Yeah.
question
Okay.
in
Thank
the
you.
chat.
Please.
Mirte is asking, how were school heads involved in this project? The principals.
Well, when we had this first education, well, like where all the teachers were, like we had to freshen up our minds in this phenomenon-based learning. He was there, he was very eager, and he kind of helped us to put the basics on this project. But I don't. Well, that's it. I don't think what else should he have done, because in Finland we have a lot of freedom. We can basically decide what we want to do, and then we just do it. We often ask principal, "Is this okay?" And he always says, "Yeah, why not?" So he was enough.
Yes, if I can remember well, he wasn't at the school at the beginning of the project. He was arrived
Yeah,
late.
yeah, that week, that project
He
week he
arrived
wasn't.
later.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
yes,
before
yes.
that, when
Yeah,
we,
of
yeah,
course.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Here in Hungary, we also lucky because headmaster Agi is really friendly and she's in everything and she like new things really much here in the school. So she supported us in this project, I think.
And if I may add from the project management or preparation point of view, basically what I feel like is that it's a very good question, because if the headmasters or the principals are not interested, then this wouldn't have happened. If they're not open to the idea, at least this would not have happened. What we have realized as a difference, let's say working with the Finnish or the Hungarian school, on the principal or coordinator level, is that the Finnish principal was very, very careful of the time of how much the teachers work in this project, so that they are not becoming overworked, and wherever they commit to, let's say, work on the good practices handbook, it's their own time and they commit to that. And we actually even, of course, like paid the people who worked in that handbook, but we didn't pressure anyone to do it. So it was more like voluntary in a way that that they had to be willing to sacrifice additional time. But for example, the training programs were arranged in a way that it was included in the working hours and not outside of it. And when we had the exchange program, when like the Finnish teachers visited the Hungarian school for a week, they had to hire what is it in English? Sorry.
Substitute teacher.
Substitute teachers, yes, thank you. And so the substitute teachers cost had to also be incorporated into the project. And as a project management point of view, it's important to know for others, like if you are interested in working with Finnish schools, that there is a higher cost, but I would say it's a very fair thing to do. And it's very fair to the students, like not only to the school, but so the students don't miss out on the teaching and learning and so on. So I would say that it's really dependent on the person, not even the systems, but it depends, of course, because there are many more strict systems, I would say. And yeah, but this was a great question, I think. Thank you.
Do we have more questions in the chat?
I don't see any questions, but I would really like to comment also on this evaluation and assessment dialogue we were having with Erika and Hapsu, because I feel like both of you are super right, and I'm like a Hungarian living in Finland, so I'm like a double agent in this point of view, and I really feel like that what's the main difference here is the attitude on lessening the pressure on students. What I mean is that, of course, it's dependent on the subject and the age of the student and everything. But the point, I think, what Erika wanted to mention with that, the students were allowed to sort of decide what grades they want to reach within that subject, was also about, how much they care, how much they're motivated in certain subjects to reach a specific grade or level, and that it would be like, it's such a healthy approach, because if we think about the real life, once they grow up and live their lives, we're not going to be excellent in everything. And growing up in Hungary and having all those pressures that like you need to get the 5, the best grade, and all these, like, you grow up, become a people pleaser and a maximalist, and then you are all about pleasing everyone around you, and having all these pressures and becoming a perfectionist. And it's a difficult thing. And when you have like always this sort of stress starting from very early age, in Hungarian context I'm talking about, that you need to do very well with the grades, because then you have to score a very high point to get into a very good high school first, and then a very good university, and then you have this whole systems like really focused on the outcome and the grade, and not on the process, the learning itself. So I would say self-reflection questions are very helpful, not always, as Hapsu said, because it would discourage maybe some students. Like, let's say it's very skill-based, so some students in music are way more talented than others. So I understand I think your point there, but I would say that it's such a crucial thing for all of us working in education and education development, that there is so much power and potential in the assessment practices, that they are very important to consider. Like, if you give the red point in Hungary is like a positive reinforcement that, hey, you were good, you did your homework, you did something great, I give you like this little treat. But many times they get like mostly the negative reinforcements. Like, I visited a school in Hungary and I was shocked that the students who didn't bring their homeworks would get a grade 1, which influences their their certificate in the end of the year, like what's your final grade. And I was asking, but do you also give 5s, like the best grade, if they bring their homework? And they were saying that no, they would only use the negative reinforcement. And I was really sad. And I was then talked to the whole school community or teachers, and I was asking, like, do you think that's motivating, really? like is that really gonna work? And it's really up to us to change these things, I think, because they have to have certain amount of grades, of course, based on the requirements of the curriculum and whatever, but it's up to you. Do you reinforce the positives or the negatives? So that's my monologue about the assessment things and positive pedagogy.
And I also want to have just one sentence linked to this topic, that when we started to work with Finland, one of the basic paradigm that is completely different, that in Finland they teach the kids, the students, the pupils for life. Meanwhile, in Hungary and in all these kind of countries like Hungary, we teach them for tests to collect the grades. And I think that this is something which is basically completely different, and that's why they can do it on different ways in Finland than in Hungary. Okay, I turn
Absolutely.
the slides. Yeah, now we have the contacts.
Yes,
Orshi,
sorry,
please
Edith,
talk
but
about, do it.
I would like to say that we forgot to put a very important information to this presentation in the beginning, which is about the video series that we have produced. They are very high quality video recordings. Actually, we had a full videographer staff coming to visit Finland, and we also had the same people coming to the Hungarian school. And so we created like this educational video series on phenomenon-based learning and sustainability. And I have put it to the chat, the link, and we will add it to the final slides, and hopefully we can distribute it to you. But you find it on YouTube when you Google phenomenon-based learning and sustainability and put Finland and Hungary. I'm sure you'll find it. It's a playlist named the same way. So that's important that I mention it. And yes, feel free to contact us. I am based in Finland, and I have a company which is a social enterprise called FIN-Minta, and it's registered under the name Glokalminta Oy. But it's been doing very similar things to what we had done with the sustainability project, because it was such a meaningful one that I really wanted to expand towards the well-being of students. So that's why I research planetary well-being and that's why I do collaboration on sustainability education and so on.
And the last, we are grateful and thankful for all who joined us, and also those who are going to watch this video later on. And in Finnish, kiitos kun osallistuitte. Is that correct, Hapsu?
Very, very good.
Okay. And in Finnish, köszönjük a részvételt. In Hungarian, sorry. Now I will stop sharing. Yeah.
And we got another question.
Yes, just check this.
Or Mirthe is asking, do you know Teachers for Climate as well? There's an international ambassador for this. I actually don't know it, so I'm very happy to learn about this and explore to see if we can collaborate. There is an initiative called Teachers for Climate.
Okay. I think if we have no more questions, there we can see the link in the chat.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mirthe. Then we would like to thank, and we would like to see you for the next ERNA meetings, which is gonna happen tomorrow and after tomorrow. So this whole month is about sharing educational good practices. And thank you very much for being here and taking part in this.